Permission to equally distribute this among our employees, our full-time employees, as a bonus.
I need a motion.
I move that we accept using the 2019 SCMIT surplus funds as a bonus to our employees.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any questions?
What was that amount again?
$16,190.68.
Lenard, any more questions? Lenard, you want to take a roll call?
This is a roll call vote for council to approve the 2019 Smith surplus return back into town for workers' compensation. Councilwoman Butterworth.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murdoch.
Yay.
Councilwoman McCullough.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hammond.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Tisdale.
Yes. Nominees for beautification. You want to talk?
This position or nominee will fill the term of Mr. A.B. Wilson, who was deceased a few weeks ago, and the term expires December 2019.
Do you have any nominees?
Hearing none, may we table this until our next meeting?
Yeah. Any second on that?
Second on that.
All right.
I just kind of asked the question, but I move that we table this until the next meeting.
I think that's a good
I think
idea.
that's the best.
All right, need a second.
Second.
Floor is open. Any questions? There ain't none. All in favor for tabling it, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Ayes have it. Mr. Trink, you want to explain the rec department?
Tony?
Good evening, how you doing? In the past 2 years, the back room, it's a room in the back, it's being utilized really a lot. The past 3 months, every weekend, the back room is being used. I would like to increase that back room from $50 to $150. The $50 will be a deposit to keep that room. If they don't clean, we'll keep that deposit back to the town. And the $100 will go back to the town, back for revenues for new chairs and upkeep of the rec for the back room.
Tony, that's a very popular room to
It is a very popular room. We have people who comes there every weekend. Y'all wouldn't believe the number of people that come in and out. The traffic is really, really busy, so I need to keep the upkeep going for the rec.
And when you say the back room, that is the room to the left when you come in with
Yes.
the kitchen and all of that?
Yes, the kitchen, we have a refrigerator, microwave.
Anybody got any more questions? I need a motion.
I move that we increase the fee to $150 per rental of the Kingstree Youth Center small room, which will include a $50 non-refundable reservation fee.
Second.
All right, floor is open. Any questions? There ain't none. All right, take a roll call.
This is a roll call vote to increase the rental fee for the Kingstree Youth Center small room to $150. Councilwoman Butterworth.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murdoch.
Yay?
Councilwoman McCullough.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hammond.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Tisdale.
Yes.
Unanimous.
And just quickly, you will change this to print the
Yes.
$150 fee?
Yes.
On
All
this
that will
one.
change over. August 1st, we'll change everything over to that.
Mr. Williams?
Good evening, council, mayor, and manager. Updates on Main Street. We have Kingstree Live this Friday night. Band starts at 7. The festivities start at 6:30. We will have a bouncy house. Food will be served from Monkey Bottoms, and we'll have snow cones there, face painting, the usual. Our next Kingstree Live is our back to school bash. Some things change up. We will have 3 bouncy houses. We'll have all you can eat snow cones free of purchase to everybody that's there. And we're going to be giving away 300 book bags full of school supplies to kids ages 2nd grade to 8th grade as supplies last. I'd like to thank Mr. James from the IGA. He is splitting the cost on the book bags, and especially all our other sponsors for this great event. Benches, I put 2 more out Friday, one from FTC and one from First Citizens Bank. First Citizens Bank bench is on Jackson Street under their tree that they have right there in their courtyard. Great, thank you. I was trying to think of it. And the other one is on Main Street in between the pawn shop and Williams Appliances. Currently, we have been adding 2 flower pots beside each bench to kind of anchor them. And I'd like to thank Miss Pam Tisdale and Miss Holt. They went out and planted ferns this Saturday in those pots that we've added beside the benches. They do look really good, so we're excited about that. More exciting news is I'm ordering 2 more tomorrow. Baker Greeleyville has donated the money for 2 benches. They have not decided where they want them yet, but I will be placing that order tomorrow. The flower baskets, I'd like to thank the street department. They're doing an exceptional job of keeping them watered. And we are getting a lot of really good feedback on our hanging baskets. People love them. They're beautiful. They're a great addition. So we're really excited with how those have turned out. The duck boxes that I've talked about in prior meetings, we are working closely with property owners, getting permissions to go out. I think as of right now, we have 15 out of the 50 installed on property from the owner's permission, and we're still working on getting more. We have about another 20 that have given permission. We just haven't got out and put them in there. The promotions committee has moved at same time, meeting-wise. It's the first Tuesday of every month, but we've switched the meeting time from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. to give, we had some interest in wanting to be involved in that committee, but we needed to move the time back so that we could get them to be there. Jenny Bolware with the state has already been at 1 meeting this month, our organization committee, and she will be at our promotions and our design committee this month. The promotions committee will be the 23rd at 5 o'clock, and the design committee will be the 25th at 5:30 p.m. She is here to work on strategic planning with our committees to get us back in the right direction, especially with the excitement we have coming up in September. We have 1 facade grant completed. We are in transition of getting him his check. The gym on Mill Street was the first recipient that has finished his work. We have 3 others that are in the progress of doing the work in their buildings, so we're really excited about that. Our phase 1 that we've talked about when it comes to design committee has always been Main Street from the railroad tracks to Jackson and Academy Street from Main Street to Mill Street. Our design committee is now starting to work on the implementation of a design for phase 2, which is the railroad tracks to IGA, Hampton Street, Mill Street, and Jackson. It's a little bit different concept because of the logistics of we can't put hanging baskets on live wire lines, and so we're working on a different plan to be able to implement some beautification on those streets as well. We're also working with property owners because there's no outlets on the poles. We're working with property owners that are willing to install outlets and let me mount a bracket for the music on their buildings. We do have some interested parties and we're working with them now. So we're really excited about some beautification on phase 2 of our project when it comes to that. So our Kingstree roadmap, which I gave you all a copy of the synopsis on that. The dates have been set for September 3rd through the 5th. We have 7 conference calls with the group prior to their arrival, and we are working on an agenda. I do know, and we will be working on getting marketing out for this. We'll be working with our local news, social media, with the agenda. I know September 3rd and 4th, there will be a town hall meeting at 6 p.m. both nights. These will be the community input sessions for everything that they're coming to do. So the community will be able to come and interact with new branding ideas, new color palettes, to voice their opinion on what the future of Kingstree will look like. So we're really excited about getting the information out. On September 5th at 6 o'clock in this room, they will be given a final presentation of their work. Now, this will not be a completed roadmap packet, but it will be their collection of what they see for us in the future. It will take a few weeks after that to get our full renditions of all designs and stuff like that, but they will be given their final presentation that night. During the day on the 3rd and 4th, there'll be a bunch of different meetings with different community leaders, different foundations, different clubs. We're working on a draft agenda now, and just to kind of list a few of the meetings, there'll be property owner meetings, economic development meetings. There will be 2 separate council meetings for council because of the separation not all being in the place at one time. I will try to get those dates as soon as possible to y'all so y'all can work out whose times works better. We're going to try to have them at lunch because I know that y'all are busy, but those are going to be very important meetings. They'll have tourism meetings, faith-based community roundtable. So we're working on this draft, and once we should have a final draft at our next conference call next Friday. So I'll be able to have more information on the full agenda and have y'all a copy as soon as possible. The things that we should get out of this program is a market assessment. That's where they'll come in and do a market analysis on what we currently have, what we're outsourcing to different communities to go get, and so we kind of know where to go with our recruitment when it comes to economic vitality. And they'll also work with our local shop owners to talk about retention. We'll have design and planning. They'll review any existing plannings, master plans, comp plans, and give us a roadmap to a new one, where we should be going and what we should be working for. Branding and marketing. They're going to come in and give us a whole new facelift, not only for the town of Kingstree, but for the Main Street department so that we can brand. And they're also going to give us an implementation strategy. They're going to give us pretty much a step-by-step for the next however long it takes to implement this. My guess is 4 or 5 years, but for our Main Street committee. So they'll have pretty much a checkbox, a to-do list. They'll be very busy after this, implementing this new plan. So the more information I have on this process, I will give out to y'all as soon as I have it. But we are very excited about this process, and we look forward to it. The next thing I passed out, I gave everybody copies of this. Sorry I didn't give y'all one of these nice new ones, but this is the only one I got right now. So the state and myself with Jenny have been working on a Kingstree incentive packet. This is something they just rolled out to all the Main Street communities. It's an incentive package. Inside of it kind of gives a overview of what these incentives are that the state offers and federal. The good news is 4 out of the 5 of these, the town of Kingstree and anybody in the community is already eligible for. There's one which is called the Bailey Bill, which we are working on getting more information to be able to add that to our arsenal to call incentives. Me and Jenny have been working on adding the Kingstree incentives, the different things that we offer new businesses and investment opportunities coming into town to be able to add to the top of this. And then we'll do a mass production of this to be able to hand out to all current business owners, all current corporations, and then new investment coming into town. So we're really excited about this incentive package. I'd really like to thank my committees. They are 100% what makes this Main Street program tick, and it would not be possible without them. So if y'all know anybody on these committees, or somebody says there's on these committees, please thank them, because they work hard and they're doing it voluntarily. So we really appreciate them. Anybody have any questions?
How many benches total?
So as of now, after we order the 2 tomorrow, we'll have 10. 10 so far.
I attended the committee meeting the other night. I counted 17 people around that table.
Yes, sir. And
It's
that's
a
a great
great
organization.
interest. It's a great interest. with the public and what we're trying to do for the town. And so, and we appreciate it when somebody walks through that door. We appreciate it. We appreciate them being there.
Very much so. And one more thing, Main Street, Kingstree has a new Facebook page. If y'all want to go and like it and share the page, it's a place for us to get the meeting times out to people so that they can come and be involved. It's also a place where they can get news on new things happening within the program throughout the town. Thank you.
Thank you, William.
How was it listed, William?
Main Street, Kingstree.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you said a new page, I've already liked it. I thought it was something else recently.
Were you on the ball?
Okay, thank you.
Her taste is good too.
I like to keep up with things, thank you. And if you have some of the live flyers, may I get a few before you leave tonight?
I do not have any with me.
Okay, don't worry
Didn't
about
I
it.
email it to you?
I got one last month, but that's okay.
Okay, I can email it to you.
Yeah, I got it by email, I just wanted to take it somewhere tomorrow, but that's
Well,
okay.
I'll print some right here for you.
Okay, just a few, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Trey?
Say something about our police and fire station. We're in the permitting phase right now, and things seem to be moving along. I want to also say that down behind the depot, we have 2 old picnic tables. I've asked that they be taken and thrown away. If any of y'all ever seen those things, but we do have 2 new ones on order. I've got calls about 3 dead trees at the parking lot, and we don't know whether they're diseased or what the problems are, but we are replacing those trees. Anyway, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Butterworth?
I'll just start by saying I've gotten a lot of compliments on downtown. Many have talked about the music and the baskets and what a great job it is. So I commend William and his committees. And then I've had a comment from someone in my district regarding the water department employment that I've discussed already with Mr. Treen and the mayor. So I think that's been taken care of, and that's all I have.